It's your boy P. Thank you for tuning in to No Flag Radio. I'm your host, doing it. So today we talking about black media sort of kind of using the black audience to play peekaboo with when it comes to this presidential political race thing. So I want to explain what I mean. So one thing I've noticed about black media over the past few weeks is that certain ones of us are getting sidetracked with every little derelict put in front of us as far as these presidential political candidates are concerned. And only a few of us, only a few, are serious in either educating or engaging in the political process, the actual process, to an extent to where tangibles and reparations and all these things that we're putting on the slate can actually be put into effect. I mean, I've noticed that and I've been saying that. What I mean by that is for the past, couple of weeks, we've seen all manner of diversions, all these fresh balls of yarn that white supremacist society has been putting out for us to play with and to basically troll the black media community. They've been trolling us in the hopes that we will pass on that trolling ass energy that they're putting out in front of us. That time wasting ass energy, you know what I mean? And that they want us to basically pass it on to our viewerships. For instance, we got Joe Biden, right? He entered the presidential race as a diversion. You understand? Like, we know he has no black agenda. We've seen Bernie Sanders as a diversion, though we know he don't like black people, right? Booty Gig, no black agenda, right? He was talking that committee to study reparations crap. And I think it's that us in black media, I think as a group, we're kind of time wasting by not jumping on who's left in the race after the Democrats. Understand? I.e. the Republicans. And I brought this up. I think motherfuckers had this Republican avoidance as far as what we are to be pressing them for. And all we've really focused on is the racist, white supremacist leanings that pop up with them. Just like with the Democrats, just like with the Green Party, everybody else, of course, we know has the racist, white supremacist leanings, right? And it's a bad look in terms of us being able to disseminate and get information across. I think we should just shore up the whole situation, go at everybody for the bag, and not just be chasing our tails with these Democrat candidates that we know ain't shit. They should be not making our news if we truly saying that we wiping our ass with these people. Is my point. I mean, we need to put the pressure where the pressure belongs. And if we're indeed going to apply pressure as an arm of the media for black society, and I'll do my post on ADOS versus the Republicans that are running and so forth and so on. Because that seems what people are hesitating to put into the narrative space at this point, as far as I can see. And I don't know why. But my point is, it shouldn't be newsworthy in black media that, that Bernie Sanders did this or that day in and day out, or that Joe Biden said this in the 90s or did this in the 90s against black people. It's not news to those who are in the know, or those who are even minimally in the know at this point. You get it? A part of me says, look at the most vocal people in black media, the ones with the biggest platforms, and tap them on their shoulder like, look, they need to get it together and stop beating the dead horses that have been trotted out in front of us. That is what I'm getting at. This whole political process has been trolling us with these dead horses for us to beat, to waste our time, sort of, and kind of one-siding our energy to just the bad Democrats or whatever. And nobody else getting no smoke except for, they said something racist or bigoted or whatever, right? That's one thing, but let's press our issues still. The damn Democrats showed us years ago that they were bigoted. Years ago, and we still found time to put the cameras and the microphones in their faces that had them talking about reparations and so forth, right? Right. So why not the Republicans? Why not anybody else that may show they motherfucking face our way? You see what I'm saying? Let's be equal opportunity. We can't keep engaging with these troll-ass personalities on the Democratic side only. I mean, at least give the others a chance to feel our claws being put into them so we can see what they made of type shit, right? Because the goal with any political representative for our causes is keeping the black agenda on their mind and on the minds of our audiences predominantly, and to keep mobilizing ways to see our agenda existence in political form, right? And it's out of sight, out of mind in this world. It's out of sight, out of mind. And we don't want those who's left out of the presidential pool to sleep on our wrath or say that we never pressed them for nothing and we never was head on pressing them for shit. You know what I mean? Or, because they will do that shit. Oh, they'll say, oh, the black folk, they were too busy calling us bigots and all of that shit. Like, nah. Let's give ourselves some legs, is my stance. And in my mind, I respect all the new black media types who go in on the coons, who put certain topic matter into the narrative space. We all benefit from that. You know what I mean? But it don't make sense for some of these figures in new black media to, have the ear of our people on such a scale that a lot of them do, and be beating dead horses when everybody else is using their media, right? Their group media to mold and shape all the candidates, irrespective of party, so they can maneuver ahead of us while we getting left behind. We in the back getting emotional and attacking people who we've been beating up on just because it makes for a quick media blip, a quick news feed for the day type shit, right? And we just want to get something out to the public real quick just to put out some content, but nah, I'm going to get a t-shirt that just say nah on that bitch. I mean, because that's not the way forward. That ain't the way forward, really. Just yesterday, the Indian group was cheering on Donald Trump, talking about, he just changed his immigration policy to where they can get these merit-based immigration statuses, like lawful or permanent residence type green card shit, to the tune of about 4 million people getting allowed these citizenships based off this merit-based, like based off if you smart and you got some sort of useful skill type shit, right? But just earlier this month, no less than a couple weeks ago, the Indians was on shaky grounds with Trump, talking about, we don't know if Trump is going to be our man. We don't know what Trump going to do for us type shit. We don't know if he's going to do much for us. Y'all remember Tulsi Gabbard that I talked about? She's supposed to be the Indians candidate. She was the Indians candidate up until yesterday when Trump made this immigration law go down, right? All right, you know what I mean? And, Trump and her, they're kind of the same on like the anti-Muslim stance and all that shit. They were kind of the same, especially some of the far right Indians. They on that, anti-Muslim shit. So that's how, they kind of sided with Trump on certain things. But that's more like the far right, extreme right sides of the Indian voting bloc. But now they like, okay, now we hear you, Trump. Now we'll dump this Tulsi Gabbard chick, cause hell, you made a move to sew up the Indian vote. All right, and I really don't doubt that. As far as them getting on Team Trump hard, I don't doubt that that was some of them Asian packs, some of them Asian, Indian, Pacific Islander packs that was lobbying to help kind of sew that shit up. But like I said, they first thought that just Tulsi Gabbard was the only motherfucker in their corner, right? A Democrat. All right, because Trump had all these hostility in his policies towards non-white groups. And everybody felt that. The Indians felt that too early on in his term, right? It was like, oh, we don't know about this guy, right? But now look, you know what I'm saying? The LGBT, they just halfway past this, what they call the Equality Act of 2019, which is basically gives the LGBT community these, non-discriminatory allowances and employment and a few other categories, employment, housing, public accommodation, shit like that. And this is LGBT, you understand? And Trump has been running a hard line with the gay people. They've been getting a hard time from him as far as, different policies with the military and shit like that. But they polled all these Republican states, and all of them talking about, yeah, go ahead and let it happen. Like, so, we'll see what happens as the vote come down. But, my point is, I don't know when or if we gonna start changing this shit up. But, I don't know if we gonna flip it. But from my vantage, just how we've been going at it for the past few months, I've just been watching. I don't think it's the best for how we using black media. I don't think it's the best use of black media. And more of us need to be serious about the ends that we seek to meet with every communication that we make with our people. Every communication we make got to be about forward movement, not about beating dead horses like Bernie and the Democrats is fucking up. I did a video on how we were dealing with the Kamalas, the Bernies, the people who haven't showed us no love, who showed us that they don't fuck with us or don't value our stances and positions. So I'm saying now, let's go after everybody else. Let's make a move on who's left on the national stage for once. So at least we can say, we put everybody to the fire, is my point of this. Y'all remember that? I said that in the video. Then also, work our mojo at the local level, at the state level for black specific politics. Start configuring our cities around our lobbying efforts. Pro-black lobbyism to start molding our politicians via putting our money to work type shit to start securing all these things that we haven't been getting. Clean water in certain cities, protectionary laws specifically for black people when we get assailed by these race soldiers and these workaday white supremacists in the street every day, right? Start legislating for our protected status. Start pressing our politicians in a real way. Because if black agenda hits a disappointment with the Democratic Party on a national scale and on a presidential voting type stage, right? Which we've seen that it has. And all we can muster up is, we get on our news platforms and start whining and complaining about who they are while not ascending on the remaining candidates. You get what I'm saying? Without ascending on who's left so we can bring things to a head with them also to see where we stand. We kind of running a race with one leg. We running in place while everybody else is motioning for all these other groups. That's why I brought up that issue with the Indians. Like, they pushing for all sides of whoever involved to get in the dirt for them, right? For us to be doing some shit like where we just hanging on Democrats and somber and sad about what the fuck they are, that shows either we don't really understand that our relationship is over with them motherfuckers. We either still in love with their ass, we in love with all these politicians who've repeatedly insulted our agendas and our commands, or either B, we just looking for some cheap, non-substantive news to put out. I'm talking about us in black media. This is who this video was meant to kind of go at a little bit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Either we looking for just, we mad that they're doing what they've shown us they will do, or either we just want to put out anything, just put out any kind of news and say it's news, right? Just to fill up our platform with something for the day and not really be focused on being as dynamic as we need to be, just so we can have some hits on a video. I mean, just so we can play up the galley of, see, we told ourselves these peoples is bad. Look at how bad they've been for all these years. The Democrats, they don't like black people. Nah, that's the fucking clown shit, man. And maybe it's because I'm an Aries, you know what I mean? Once I see a motherfucker on some snake shit, some clown shit, I get the fuck away from them. I see some repetitive off-color shit going on, I cut them off for life. I don't even look back, and I'm on to the next conquest. And maybe it's because, like I said before, we don't got too many Aries in the black social media news kind of space that's going to have it on their mind to, you know, push for a new direction like we do. We are the innovators of the Zodiac, you know what I mean? We all about innovating when some shit is looking kind of stagnant. That's us. Look it up, goddammit. I ain't just making it up. But this is where we sitting, in my opinion. How many times can, you know, we put up a post saying Bernie is bad and it be considered news to people? You know, our personalities that we go to, our people that we like so much, you know what I mean? That speaks to the dulling of our intellect in a way, to be soaking on the concept of these people is bad for years, right? And for those who ain't been on to the, you know, political conversation for years, I mean, we'll say for the months that you've been watching this shit, right? Like, but for this stuff to be platform worthy, we gotta take a step back for real and just say, hold up. We know these folks are fucking characters. So let's see what other thought life needs to make our news in regards to the profession of politics and so forth. Because we don't want our myopic lens of these people be bad to leave us sort of non-attentive to what wheels we need to be spinning for real around this bitch. Because what happens out of that is, you know, our new black media just becomes entertainment. It becomes mere entertainment and not really forward progress. Like the community of black thinkers need to be on. Like I always say, you know, the community of black thinkers, we got to be about forward progress. You know what I mean? We're not in this just for the entertainment aspect, but our intellect. Because our intellect itself, it activates more in just the vein of fucking entertainment, right? It activates more in just the vein of what stimulates me to emotion today, right? Our news ain't supposed to be about what stimulates us to emotion or who pissed us off today type shit, right? It should be primarily, I'll say that, about what stimulates us to activity. Pointed activity, specific activity that we can habituate ourselves to as a group and use as our code. I think our intellect has reached a point in the thinking black community where I think this is where we at now. I'm going to say that. And I don't think we should downplay that with, you know, ambulance chasing, the finger wagging stories on people that we've already marked for our shit list, so to speak. It's an insult to our group intellect and where it has risen to, I think. I'll give an example. You know, Cool G Rap was speaking on punk ass Vlad TV maybe about a year or so back. Talking about Lil Yachty, the rapper, you know what I'm saying? Dude with the red hair and the beads and shit. Talking about, you know, how people are entertained according to their intellect level, right? And he was like, the example he gave was peekaboo. He was like, as far as how a child sees a game of peekaboo, with a child, you can say peekaboo a million motherfucking times. And each time, the shit is gonna be just as exhilarating and just as fun and entertaining and funny as the first time, right? Well, if us in black society, if we say our intellect is way up here, you know what I mean? We got this high intellect. How are we oscillating on the same motherfucking peekaboo ass topics? All right? I'm not willing to play our audiences like we dumb on some peekaboo shit. Running the same old obvious ass shit over and over and over again when it's clear to us that we have other terrain that we can now cover, now that we know certain things, right? Our progression shouldn't just stagnate. Now that we know Bernie ain't shit, right? Then what, right? Now that we know Joe Biden punk ass ain't shit, now what? Now that we know Cory Booker, now that we saw Cory Booker a couple days ago rapping and rhyming not too long ago, and the white media is giggling along with him, man. Let me see if I can pull that up. Now that we saw that shit, and he think he cool for a little bit with white folk, or nigga, then what? Let me see. I think I got the video somewhere. I want to pull up this motherfucker real quick. Turned off the main shot. Let's go to this. I want y'all to see this. Get a nice laugh at this boy. See if it's pulled up. Try to be able to get a good laugh at this video, man. Because he's such a corny motherfucker. Okay, there you go. I want y'all to watch this corny motherfucker, man. Such a fucking cornball. Here you go. Here go your boy Cory Booker.
This brings us back to the bad pun. Chameleon Air. Now, this is a freestyle, in fairness.
Yes.
Call me New Jersey, because I'm always in a New Jersey.
That is pretty cool.
It's a New Jersey pun.
We could try to freestyle right now.
I don't know how
like
to
it's
freestyle.
no feat to be on the beat so far away from the actual street.
And we'll add a beat under that.
Yes, if you want to be understood, you got to come to my hood.
When are you gonna? Are you
That's when you'll find out what is really good.
Are you gonna do this in the debates?
I will not do this in the debates.
I bet you could
have gone to
out-freestyle
places.
Bernie.
You literally.
I don't know.
I'm going to make no comment on that because that part would be replayed.
Yeah, he laugh at me. Oh, man. Fuck ass Cory Booker, rapping and rhyming. The corny ass dap he giving type shit, right? Then what? Now that we done seen him, with his goofy ass laugh, he laughed like Goofy Dog, you know what I mean? Now that we seen that, now what? I mean, now that we know he a clown. Bill de Blasio, the guy that's forcing these vaccinations on the communities out there in the boroughs of New York. He just announced that he's running for president. I've talked about him, the vaccine forcer. Now that we know he ain't shit, now what, right? You see? Because how this becomes dangerous is that, if we don't take account of where we at in this shit, like for real, like watch our steps and stay forward-minded about what we need to be doing next. Always about, okay, what's up? Oh, you fucked up. Okay, let's move on to what's next, because this motherfucker is over here. They fucking up over here. We need to, I'm saying, if we not doing that, it becomes dangerous, because then they got black people on a damn hamster wheel. We fizzle out. We fizzle out and get wayward within a couple months. And our ideas and agendas grow cold on the people who need our agendas in their motherfucking faces. Because we spent 7 or 8 months or so out of 2019 rehashing who we didn't like the whole year, basically, right? I just want to I just want to see us turn the wheel. You know what I mean? All of us in black media, like in the talking spaces. It's cool to get your points out. Like, I ain't hating on people, putting out what they gonna put out, but I'm saying, like, get your points out and, go in on whoever you want to go in on. I've went in on everybody as far as the Democrats from my posts. I've went in with the comment section in my videos with certain people on certain personalities. I feel that I've done my part in that regard to, really lay out how foundational black people need to kind of discard certain personalities on the, Democrats as far as they concerned, right? On their plantation, right? I just don't want us to become consumed by the people who've let us down. You understand? I know it's easy for us to kind of wallow in disappointment as black people. We have great practice in wallowing in disappointing outcomes, right? And lackluster situations. But fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? Fuck all that shit. We need to snap out of it, because as I start going in on these other figures, these non-Democrats, because that's who people seem to be kind of sleeping on and ignoring. Me personally, I don't want to be the only person out here talking about what ground Donald Trump need to be covering for our agenda and what ground Bill Weld need to be covering for our agenda. Some people don't even know who Bill Weld is. I mean, they don't even know who the fuck he is. They've been so focused on the Democrats that's fucking up and ain't doing shit, right? Like, some people don't even know who these people are. I don't want to be the only motherfucker out there talking about these dudes in the way I'm going to be going in and kind of helping push our line to the Republican side, while everybody else in black media is still in a fucking time lock talking about why we don't like Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. You see? That's what I want to avoid. If that's the case, I'll just move on from the presidential election space in my topics and move to the various states and city type work. I mean, for my lobbyism type shit, for that type of shit, right? Because what we witnessing is, while we talking about all these Democrats who are trolling us and showing us what they're promising to do for other groups and making the shit obvious, nobody is applying pressure on the Republicans, which is the motherfuckers they supposed to be in competition with, so to speak. All right? So, in my heart of hearts, I think that's the rat hole that they wanted us to get caught up in. Keep the niggers crying over the Democrats that they thought were their friends. You understand? Keep the niggers crying over the Democrats. Let's keep them busy with the Democrats and crying and tearing up over them. All the while, they ain't putting up no pressure on no other faces. No real foot being put on nobody else's neck. You understand? Not going in at their other pundits like the Ben Shapiro's about their reparations, right? I'm just giving the pundits as an example, not to say that pundits are shit anyway, but just to make the point, they ain't going in on Ben Shapiro, but they'll go in on Joyanne Reed and Mark Thompson and people like that, right? You see how that has a hint of timidness to that shit? Y'all see that shit? That's why I need to know what's up. I don't want to be the only one in black media referencing how Trump is the only figure who said black folks should be paid reparations and spoke of negotiating certain things, spoke of negotiating points, right? While every other black person in black media is ignoring it in lieu of talking about how bad the Democrats are. Like, nah, we need to get on the same fucking track, or else I'll be quiet about shit. Put all of our efforts into ADOS, pressing everybody, pressing Trump and Bill Weld and whoever else, and start mobilizing for these tangibles at a state and local level on top of all of that shit, right? Like, all of that got to go in the same bucket. And basically break up whatever competition that Trump and Bill Weld thought they was finna have with this shit and start diluting their basis conversation with this ADOS agenda. We need to step it up and move it there so they can, we can have them come correct to the plate or whatever they want to do, or we can have them on the ropes with our no black agenda, no black vote shit. We can do that. You know what I mean? They can have it however they want to have it. We can bring it to them however they need it. Black folk, we 15% of the population in America. Don't let nobody ever lie to you. We 15% of the population in America, so that's enough to shake the fucking ground up underneath people's feet, man. We ain't no joke if we unify. You see what I'm saying? But like I said, I don't want to be the only motherfucker doing it. You know what I mean? So if y'all could get a message, all my people who watch this video, if y'all get a message to all other black personalities in media and so forth and all of that, to talk about banging on the Republicans and these other people hard or some shit like that with our ADOS agenda, I'd appreciate that shit. That would be great. You know what I mean? Just, ask some of our other figures to introduce that change in the gear that we in. I'm going to send an email to Tariq this morning about the shit too. The brother Tariq Nasheed about it. Just to, put him on tap about it. We'll see what's up. I just think it's time for us to diversify our movements so we can see the whole landscape of who's fucking with us and mobilize from there. You know what I mean? I just don't want us to be this motherfucking, kicked puppy race. I mean, where we always get stuck being teary-eyed about what somebody we know is a long-term enemy is doing to us, and we don't never have no victory tears. There's tears when you win a victory too. I mean, that shit is real too. I mean, we never got the tears of victory coming down, and I'm just like, all right, what the fuck is up? So like I said, before I introduce, these new chambers that I'm going to bring to this channel, which is going to be really fun and y'all going to like it, I just want people to kind of be primed to the frequency with which it's coming in. It's, we're going to be really touching on some things that's going to get deep. And I want everybody to kind of know where I came from with it and where I'm going G at with it. You understand? But anyway, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, so you know when I'm dropping. And don't forget to fuck with my Teespring. That shit all the way live. And I'm gonna get it, y'all.